Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the commencement ceremonies for the St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute class of 2022. We ask that you please remain standing at this time and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, the anthem will be sung by one of our graduates, Aaron Ackley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. Loving God, as the 2022 graduating class of St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute gathers this evening, we acknowledge their uncommon journey over the last 4 years. A worldwide pandemic that isolated us for many months. Mob violence, insurrection, and death at the very capital of democracy. International wars and invasions, racial terrorism, and murder in our city. Through these extraordinary crises, this class and their families have stood tall. They have trusted in you, O Lord, for you guide us in every storm. May these young men be inspired by the courage of the Ukrainian people, the patriotism of our honest citizens, and the firm hope that America has for a society of freedom and equality. St. Joe's has prepared this class to protect life at all stages and to honor the diversity of creation. LaSallian educators have emphasized the necessity of giving back and caring for the vulnerable among us. Give us, O Father, the desire and the fortitude to forgive. Encourage us in the ways of your Son, who commanded us to love even our enemies. Bless, Lord, the men from the 1972 class of St. Joe's. Over these 50 years, we are grateful for their many contributions to family church, community, and life here in Western New York and elsewhere. St. John Baptist de La Salle, live Jesus in our hearts.
Thank you, Father Jim. You may be seated. And I ask you to please join me now in welcoming our class salutatorian, Patrick Killian, to the stage to deliver tonight's salutatory address.
Good evening. I would like to thank the administration, faculty, all the families gathered here, especially mine, and my fellow classmates for gathering together to celebrate all of our accomplishments. My name is Patrick Killian, and it is my pleasure to speak to you tonight as your class salutatorian. In Boy Scouts, which is the other activity outside of school I participated in often, the goal of every member is to one day become an Eagle Scout and experience the ceremony that goes with it. During that ceremony, there's always this section which relates the metaphorical trail to Eagle to a physical hiking path up a mountain. When I began to write this speech, I thought to myself, well, there's a good concept I can steal. But in all honesty, the more I thought about it, the more I realized how apt the trail to where we are today fits the class of 2022. We started off at the base of the mountain as freshmen, and what a good name for the first year of something. For we were certainly fresh, not in smell, which it would only be sophomore year that the teachers would start to tell us that we smelled bad, but I don't know. But we were fresh in spirit. Yes, for better or worse, we all entered here with fresh minds and a common goal, to get to the top of the mountain, to get to today. However, the amount of travel companions we had was extremely varied. For me personally, I was the only one from my 8th grade class to attend St. Joe's. And so I knew only a handful of the classmates before me, and was only really friends with one, who just so happens to be our class valedictorian, Harrison Sly, who I had met on a swim team years prior. In any case, I believe that by the time the first part of our climb had reached its end, we had all found at least a small group of friends to climb with us, and, if we were lucky, to challenge us to be better people. So we went our separate ways for the summer, ready to reconvene in the fall and face whatever challenges that sophomore year had to offer. We told ourselves that we'd be ready for any challenge it could throw at us. Boy, were we wrong. Once we got back to the climb, though, everything seemed like it was going to continue right where it left off. Maybe we expanded our group of friends, maybe we redefined those goals we had set freshman year, or we found new and exciting ways to challenge ourselves to be involved in every sport, activity, honors class, club, competition, windy day apparently, and any other activity that we could do to keep ourselves busy. In other words, the trail had become comfortable for us. We began to climb with confidence. Unfortunately, we were hit with something that none of us could expect: the avalanche that was the COVID-19 pandemic and all that it brought with it. And so, each of us found that our climb couldn't go on, at least not in a way that we could recognize, and the world halted. I know the faculty, staff, and administration worked hard to keep us from being buried, but to say that it wasn't the same is an understatement. And so silently, in each of our homes, the year and the climb fizzled out. And then, 5 months later, each of us began to dig ourselves out and continue the climb. Unlike when we had started the previous year, this time we began our hike wary and slow. We were intimidated by the looming fear of another halt to our progress, and I think we often forget to realize how much progress we as a class made during that year. In spite of everything around us, the separation we had experienced, the fears that our world would never be the same, we developed into the men we are today. Maybe we were hardened by tragedy, but we were also grateful for every moment that we got to spend at each other's sides. Before we knew it, We had completed junior year, and it was time, not only to finish the climb, but to become an example for the underclassmen who are further down the mountain than us. And so this last phase of the climb has really been the culmination of all the time we've gotten to spend together. Mostly free from the fears of further school closings and stoppages of our progress, we've been able to climb with the closeness and gratefulness we had developed last year. The willingness to challenge ourselves that we learned sophomore year, and just enough of that wide-eyed enthusiasm from freshman year. We no longer climbed as individuals, but as a team. And as we reached the top of the mountain, we saw something spectacular, and maybe a bit disappointing. We saw more mountains ahead of each of us, and more trails branching out in every direction. Sadly, we know this is where we have to split up, because for many of us, the paths we take from here are ones that we have to take alone to further trails ahead. However, while it may seem to the outside observer that we did all this climbing just to get to more climbing, I know that each of us is a different person, and dare I say, a better person than the one at the base of the mountain 4 years ago. So while we may not be able to look over our respective mountains, and we may not be able to see if the trails converge again on the other side, I know that each of us is ready for the climb ahead. And so I say, to each and every one of you, happy trails until we meet again. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. I now have the pleasure of introducing our commencement speaker, Dr. Kenneth Snyder from the St. Joe's class of 1990. Dr. Snyder is one of St. Joe's most distinguished alums. While at SJCI, he was active as an athlete and a musician, competing on the cross-country, track, and basketball teams, including as the starting point guard on our undefeated Manhattan Cup championship team from 1990. And he also played in the Jazz Lab Band. After his time at St. Joe's, Dr. Snyder went on to earn a bachelor's in biomedical engineering from the Catholic University of America, and then later his medical degree and PhD in biophysics and physiology from the University at Buffalo. He's currently completing the second year of a master's program in healthcare quality and patient safety at Johns Hopkins. Dr. Snyder is an associate professor of neurosurgery at the University at Buffalo. He's the vice president of physician quality for Kaleida Health and the co-director of the Health System Science Curriculum for the Jacobs School of Medicine and Biological Sciences. Dr. Snyder loves St. Joe's with all of his heart, and we're extremely grateful that he has come back home tonight to share some reflections with our graduates. Please join me in giving a warm St. Joe's welcome to Dr. Kenneth Snyder.
Thank you all, graduates, family members, St. Joe's community, Principal Spillman, President Falco. It is an absolute honor to be with all of you tonight. I'm very excited about this opportunity. Let's begin with prayer. St. John Baptist de La Salle, live Jesus in our hearts. I would like to acknowledge the senseless hate crime that targeted blacks and African Americans in our community on Saturday. My heart goes out to the families of the victims, graduates that have been affected, all members that have been affected by this act. I pray and hope that our city of good neighbors finds a way to show the world that love can conquer hate, that there's a way to translate into action so that acts like this can never occur again, not just in Buffalo, New York, but throughout the world. You graduates have been educated by St. Joe's to be citizens and leaders in our community. That means that you are called and obliged to take your talents and affect change in the systems around you, the colleges that you'll be learning in, the neighborhoods that you'll be living in. The moral codes that your family has taught you and that this school has helped reinforce will be the foundation for driving that change. Learn to listen to the little voice in your head. When you tell yourself something more than once, it's usually a sign that you need to act on it. and it's our job to act. The moral fiber of our neighborhoods are broken, and it's our job to fix them. Let us give thanks for the blessing of today and tonight, for the blessing of this celebration and graduation. Let's begin by thanking our parents and families for all the sacrifices they've done to give us the opportunity to go to this amazing school. Graduates, please repeat after me. Thank you. Let us give thanks to our teachers, administrators, board members that have taken the mission, vision, and culture of St. John the Baptist and ensured that it continues to live on. A mission that is quite unique. St. John the Baptist not only believed that teaching was the most noble and highest profession, but what he thought was that understanding and mastery of content was not enough to teach. You had to empathize and love your students. And that's what St. Joe's does. I would like you all to think about all of the experiences that you've had over the past 4 years, how much you've shared with one another. The joys, the laughter, the fun times again on the sports fields or in the different curriculum and other things that you did together. For me, again, that 1990 basketball team I'll never forget. Think about the obstacles, the challenges in the academic world, and the things that happened in the school that you could never believe happened. Dr. Heller jumped out of a second-story window when someone got something wrong in the periodic table. We couldn't believe our eyes. The whole class was looking down at the bushes as he was running to come back around into class. Every other week that Mr. Rowland usually successfully threw a student into a trash can. And I'm sure as time went on, they turned out to be recycling bins, but not back in our day. Class after class after class of St. Joe's student shares very, very similar stories of wonderful experiences that we shared together. That shared experience is what makes us all family, pushing each other to be our very best. But life isn't about sharing the successes and celebrating. Life is filled with highs and lows. As a parent, I wish nothing but happiness for my children. But I know that that's not what the world brings. The world brings a lot of pain and sadness. And it's important in understanding that during those moments are when you need your friends, need your family, need others, and sometimes even strangers, and need to be there for them, giving them the opportunity to be there for you. And that's what life's about. And that's what the family of the St. Joe's community is about. We can't wait to welcome another brotherhood into that family of ours so that we can be with you through the highs and through the lows. I'd like to share with you a few thoughts that I've reflected on that I think have helped me through my career, and I hope one or two of these resonates with each of you. The first one is that life doesn't get any easier. Learn to live and enjoy the moment. Learn to develop balance now. Take care of yourselves spiritually, mentally, physically. Don't develop a dependence on technology. The second, learn to forgive others. You know, we tell ourselves stories in our heads about what other people think, and they're stories. If you have a question about what's going on in another person's mind, ask them. We need to learn to be able to not just forgive others, but be able to forgive ourselves. No matter how you or what environment you work in, you're going to be working in teams. And being in a team doesn't mean separating yourself, it means elevating everybody else around you. Think of your college group as a team. As you're working together with knowledge and learning together, if you see someone struggling, teach them. You will be surprised what you learn by transferring knowledge that you have. Allow others to teach you. Bring creativity and appreciation to those teams. Creativity will energize your mind and spirit in incredible ways, and you'll be surprised what people do and how they exceed expectations when they're appreciated. Be your own teacher. You all are brilliant kids. There is nothing that anyone else needs to teach you or put in your head that you can't teach yourselves. Take accountability for your education. Don't ever say, I did terrible in that college class because the teacher was bad. When you teach yourself and you learn on your own, what starts to happen is you really start to appreciate the master teachers. Because what you see is people that have mastery of their subject can teach you things that you never would have seen had you read the book 100 times. It takes effort on your part to achieve that level of appreciation. Everything matters. Jody LeMayo, former St. Joe's graduate, friend, CEO of Kaleida Health, says this all the time. Everything matters. And not only is it a true statement, but I like to combine it with the idea of kind of what conscience is, which is kind of what you do when no one's watching. There's always someone watching, whether it's you, God, or combining those two ideas that everything matters and someone's always watching. Fall forward. Denzel Washington gave this great speech and said those words, and they've impacted me throughout my life. Fall forward. It doesn't mean it's okay to fail all the time, but it means if you're not struggling a little, or if you haven't experienced failure, maybe you haven't pushed yourself hard enough. And I worry more about the individuals that have never experienced failure and what that will do to them when they finally do. Guess what? The world keeps rolling on. The next day happens. You better pick yourself up. Learn to embrace the failure. I think it's also aligned with the ability to embrace change. And it's why people are so resistant to change. They're worried to fail. Well, in today's world, we can't keep up with the pace of change. Everything is about adding an element of change to our system. And you all, to be successful, will need to be very comfortable in that environment. That means accept and be comfortable with mistakes. We make them all the time. Severe ones every day. Learn to forgive, again, others and yourself. The pandemic's been extremely difficult for all of us. There's so many lessons to talk about or that have been learned. Reflections on why does it feel like it's the first time we're asking questions of the balance of public health and human rights. I think what's relevant for tonight are a few comments. It's okay not to be okay. You need to recognize it in yourself, recognize it in others, and talk about it. It's also okay to question everything. There's a way to question everything in a very respectful way that respects the individual, allows you to still love one another and think different thoughts. Facts can be tricky. There's always context and nuance. Don't try and oversimplify the complex. Learn to find commonality and have true conversation and open conversation about the nuance. That's how knowledge is built. Words matter. Our demeanor when we use those words matter. My boss, Dr. Hopkins, 30 years, has always said to me, Ken, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more than you speak. I still struggle with it, but I think it's an incredible lesson for us and something for all of us to really think about. Be your genuine, authentic self. It's a gift and a skill to be able to act. And sometimes we put on acts throughout the day. At the end of the day, when you look yourself in the mirror, you have to be you. And if you reflect and say the person that I've been all day is not consistent with who I am when I'm looking at the mirror at the end of the day, that's unhealthy and that's unsustainable. Be comfortable in who you are, how you got here, and tell your story. Don't ever try and be someone else thinking that's what's going to get me the job or that's what's going to get me to the next level. You being yourself is what's going to get you to the next level. I'm so proud to be here tonight with all of you. I wish you all incredible and great successes in life. The entire St. Joe's community is very excited to welcome another group of brothers into this community, across our nation, and across our world. Do ordinary things in extraordinary ways. Any one of you can change the world, but more importantly, live meaningful lives, thankful for the blessings we have every day, and make our families, our loved ones, this institution, and most importantly, you, proud. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. We have a gift for you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Snyder, for your words of inspiration, for sharing your wisdom with our graduates. At the start of Dr. Snyder's speech, he told us that it is our responsibility to take action, as a school community, to take action as far as what happened this past Saturday. And we are formulating short-term plans, medium-term plans, and long-term plans as a school community to help the people in the community of the Jefferson Avenue Tops Friendly Market. And our short-term plan, we reached out to the community fridge, which is located in that neighborhood, and they expressed a need for diapers, for baby wipes, baby formula, and cleaning supplies. I want to thank all of you who brought diapers this evening. One of our faculty members said the other day, let's fill one of the minibuses with diapers and deliver it to the community fridge. I think we can do better than that. I think we as a school community can fill all 4 of our minibuses. We already have a team of students and faculty set up for next Friday to deliver the supplies to the community. And so we will be collecting. There'll be an email out tomorrow. We have a team of students who's going to be collecting all of these supplies next week and organizing them. And then, as I said, a team of students who's going to be delivering them next Friday on our President's Day off. So thank you to those who brought diapers tonight. If you weren't able to bring diapers or didn't get that message, I encourage you sometime this week to go out and buy some diapers, formula if you can find it, baby wipes, and cleaning supplies, and deliver it to St. Joe's. Now, it is time to introduce the class of 1972 Golden Jubilarians. We're joined by the members of the class of 72 who are celebrating the 50th anniversary of their graduation from St. Joe's. And we're so happy to have these gentlemen here with us this evening. So much has changed in the 50 years since their commencement, and St. Joe's is very different in so many ways. When they graduated, Brother Victor was the principal, and about half of the teachers in the school were Christian brothers. The building had a much smaller footprint than it does today. There was no science building, there was no weight room, no black box theater, no innovation center. Although students were still crossing Kenmore Avenue, it was only the freshmen in order to walk 2 blocks down to the freshman-only building down the street. Despite these differences, so much is the same. As I looked through the class of 72's yearbook, I saw pictures of St. Joe's students holding signs that said, "Beat Canisius," and "Mow down the daisies." The pictures honestly look like they could have been taken this past fall. The swing choir, glee club, jazz lab band were all prominently featured in the yearbook, as were the musical and all of our standard sports teams, including the bowling team. And Mr. Simmons was the coach of the bowling team in 1972, just as he was the coach of the bowling team in 2022. "2022 graduates, I know you think that you invented the hairstyles that you guys are wearing today, But if you open up the 1972 yearbook, you will see that these guys were wearing the same hairstyles 50 years ago, so you didn't invent anything. More importantly, the thing about St. Joe's that has remained constant over the years is that St. Joe's forms men of integrity, men of compassion, men who care about their communities, and men who support their alma mater. The class of '72 ventured into a very uncertain world. About an hour ago, Bill Collins, a member of the class, gave a talk to his class, and he reminded them that the Vietnam War was in its waning days. There were protests. There was economic uncertainty. There were acts of terrorism, some of the first acts of terrorism to make news around the world. Class of 2022, you are entering a very similar world. But I'm sure, just as the class of 1972 did 50 years ago, you will enter it prepared and you will try to make it a better place. So members of the class of 1972, I welcome you home. I thank you for taking part in this special evening. And graduates, parents, and friends who are here, please join me in a round of applause to welcome back to campus our Golden Jubilarians, the class of 1972.
We will now ask the members of the class of 1972 who are here this evening to please come forward to receive their commemorative diploma. We ask that you please hold your applause for these gentlemen until they have all returned to their seats, at which time I'll ask you to acknowledge them as a group. Mark D. Alianello. Thomas V. Bartkowski. Michael Boehm. Thomas W. Bender. Frank W. Bremer. John C. Brindley. Thomas A. Buckley III. Michael B. Campbell. Michael P. Castine. Vincent Celestino. Stephen M. Champlin. Donald Chowaniak. Paul T. Christie. William M. Collins. Patrick Conway. John R. Drexelius. Gary M. Dzinski. Bradley E. Eisenhart. William E. Fallon. Frederick G. Frank. Frank J. Garwal. J. Mark Gruber. Michael P. Hilleman. Stephen J. Jakiel. Mr. Jakiel is a longtime member of the St. Joe's faculty as well. Sean E. Keating. David Killian. William M. Kingston. John S. Kropsky. Marcus Kubiak. John L. Langer. Robert Laughlin. Robert L. Loeffler. Leonard T. Lavello. William J. McCarthy. Gary E. McGuire. Joseph M. Schnitter. Robert Stozinski. William L. Swartzman. Eric B. Trammell. James P. Walter. And John C. Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, the St. Joe's Collegiate Institute class of 1972. I now have the privilege of presenting several awards to our graduates based on their academic achievement, leadership, and extracurricular involvement. As the recipients of this evening's graduation awards are announced, I ask the recipients who are in attendance at this ceremony to come onto the stage to receive their award from Ms. Spitzer and our department chairs. I ask those who are next in merit to stand in place and be recognized. The Archbishop Quigley Award for Academic Excellence. In recognition of their overall academic excellence during their 4 years of studies at St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, the Archbishop Quigley Award for Academic Excellence is presented to the class valedictorian, Harrison Sly, and the class salutatorian, Patrick Killian. St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute also commends those students who have received the Principal's Award for Academic Excellence and or the President's Award for Educational Excellence. The names of these students who have received these awards are listed in your program. In recognition of his academic achievement and course of studies in mathematics, the Brother Edmund Award is presented by Brother Joseph Wilkowski to Patrick Killian. Next in merit is Harrison Sly. In recognition of their academic achievement and course of studies in science, the Brother Thomas Award is presented by Mr. Christopher Meckelberg to Harrison Sly. Next in merit, Patrick Killian. In recognition of his academic achievement and course of studies in English, the Bishop Stephen Ryan Award is presented by Mr. Nick Horner to Aaron Reeb. Next in merit is Harrison Sly. In recognition of his academic achievement and course of studies in social studies, the Bishop Leo R. Smith Award is presented by Mr. Michael Stewart to Duncan Miller. Next in merit is Patrick Killian. In recognition of his academic achievement and course of studies in German, the Brother Bryce Patrick Award is presented by Brother Christopher Bellman to Patrick Killian. Next in merit is Aaron Reeb. In recognition of his academic achievement and course of studies in Spanish, the St. Brother Miguel Award is presented by Brother Christopher Bellman to Harrison Sly. Next in merit is Samuel Herr. You guys can finally sit down. Except for one of you. Well, in recognition of their academic achievement, Christian values, community service, and participation in the Religious Studies Department, the Brother Cornelius Award is presented by Mr. Christopher Panapinto to Duncan Miller. And next in merit is Samuel Herr. In recognition of his academic achievement, course of studies, and extracurricular involvement in the area of computer science, the St. Isidore Award is presented by Mr. Kyle DeLuey to Stephen Zelazny. Next in merit is Kyle Schmiel. In recognition of his achievement in and dedication to physical education, the Michael Diggins Award is presented by Mr. Michael Marzak to Keenan Day. Next in merit is Dean Phillips. In recognition of his artistic talent and participation in department activities, the Dr. John Barden Award for Art is presented by Mr. Pascal Frisina to Max Blum. In recognition of his musical organization, musicianship, and performing ability, the John Philip Sousa Award for Instrumental Music is presented by Mr. Pascal Frisina to Joseph Kuhn. And in recognition of his contributions to the music program, musicianship, and performing ability, the Arian Award for Vocal Music is presented by Mr. Pascal Frisina to Aaron Ackley. The Stephen Lucchese Memorial Award was established by his family in memory of a member of the class of 1981 to recognize extracurricular involvement by a senior in the areas of fine arts and athletics. Pleased to have Mr. Michael Foltz present the Stephen Lucchese Memorial Award to Max Stanger. Emphasizing the development of the qualities of courage, honor, leadership, patriotism, scholarship, and service, and based on the recommendation of the faculty, the Brown-Scheitel Post American Legion Award is presented by Mrs. Kristen Smith to Sam Herr. We now recognize members of the Brother Pompeian Honors Academy. Members of the Brother Pompeian Honors Academy embrace learning for the sake of learning and are given access to unique cultural and academic opportunities. As part of their experience, these students are required to maintain a high grade point average, challenge multiple honors and advanced classes, participate in academic and cultural enrichment experiences, and present a final senior project. Prior to graduation, they were presented with distinctive honor cords in recognition of their achievement. I ask the following 21 students to stand and be recognized for having completed all the requirements for graduating with Brother Pompeian Honors Academy distinction. Please hold your applause until all student names are called. Ted Brown, Gabe Casilio, Anthony DePinto, Josh Grammett, Ben Grande, Sam Herr, Andrew Jasinski, Patrick Killian, Joseph Kuhn, Teddy Lukowski, Michael Muffaletto, Max Naples-Narani, Kellen O'Connor, Nicholas Proenza, Will Rahill, Aaron Reeb, Colin Ritchie, Alex Roberts, Harrison Sly, Zach Terry, and Stephen Zelazny. Congratulations. The Class of 1931 Award was established by the late Dr. Richard Gates as a tribute to the memory of his class. Members of the senior class nominated classmates in consideration of their academic achievements, extracurricular activities, leadership abilities, and sense of character. The recipient of the award was selected by the school's leadership team and department chairpersons based on an essay written by each nominee. This year, we had 4 outstanding students who were nominated by their peers as finalists for this honor. I ask these students to stand and be recognized at this time. Sam Herr, Nick Licata, Michael Noonan, and the recipient of the Class of 1931 Award, Travis Nixon.
It's my honor to award the LaSallian Educator Award. St. John Baptist de La Salle, the patron saint of teachers, once asked, "Do you have such faith that it is able to touch the hearts of your students and to inspire them with the Christian spirit? This is the greatest miracle you could perform and the one that God asks of you, since this is the purpose of your work." We are really fortunate here at St. Joe's to have faculty and staff who touch the hearts of our students and perform small miracles in their classrooms and offices each day. Each year, we celebrate the talents, ability, and effort of one of our own with this LaSallian Educator Award, given to a faculty or staff member who exemplifies the passion St. John Baptist de La Salle had for education, and who has, through his or her hard work and dedication, made extraordinary contributions to St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute. This year's winner of the LaSallian Educator Award is truly innovative and creative in the classroom, but it is her ability to connect with our students that makes her exceptional. To quote the words of some of her colleagues who wrote her nominations, quote, "Her tireless devotion not only to her students but to SJCI in general is well known, and one of the things that makes SJCI what it is. From the Harry Potter Club to the Brother Paul Writing Contest to the SJCI Varsity Federation Ping Pong Team and the Hacky Sack Club, she gives generously of her time and spirit, and she always does so with both a smile and an infectious optimism. She is especially attentive to the boys who don't always fit in. More than any other teacher I know, Melanie keeps in touch with her former students and provides continuous guidance. She is a true lifelong teacher. And finally, let's not forget that each year, sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas, she gives up an entire night to meet our boys back here at the building after everyone else is long gone, to decorate the building, put up Christmas trees, and spread Christmas cheer throughout the halls of St. Joe's. It is my great honor to award this year's LaSallian Educator Award to Melanie Crounce. So, you get this, you get this, you get this. Congratulations, Mrs. Crounce. It is also my honor to present an award that we created last year. So this is the second time that we're awarding the De La Salle Community Award. Our founder, St. John Baptist de La Salle, believed that the work of God and the formation of schools was to be done together and by association. 3 centuries ago and today, Christian brothers live and work in community and support that community in everything they do. This award, the De La Salle Community Award, is given to a person in our school community, a LaSallian, who goes above and beyond to serve his or her community using St. LaSalle as an example. The gentleman receiving this award is usually the first face that a prospective student sees upon venturing onto campus for the first time, and he couldn't be a better ambassador for St. Joe's. As the Assistant Director of Admissions and a St. Joe's alumnus, he knows everything there is to know about the school and can answer any question that is thrown at him. But his work isn't done once a young man is accepted and enrolled. Pat leads many of our freshman team building activities, and he plays an integral role in our student retention. He coaches basketball and works to establish relationships with every student on campus. He actually wasn't a part of the admissions department when the class of 2022 applied, but my hunch is that most, if not all, the boys sitting on the field today know Mr. Washington, and Mr. Washington certainly knows each and every boy sitting on the field. One of his colleagues said this year's recipient, "Pat is an example to our community of how to build relationships with students in the manner that De La Salle insisted, to know each student as an individual person and to express love for the student through kindness, gentleness, sensitivity, and tenderness." I am very honored to present this year's De La Salle Community Award to Mr. Pat Washington, class of '04. And finally tonight, we need to honor a member of our staff with the St. La Salle Medal. The St. La Salle Medal is presented to members of our community in recognition of 25 years of loyal service to St. Joe's. Tonight's recipient has seen our technology program grow from a single mainframe through several iterations of computer labs to iPads, and now a one-to-one laptop program with a state-of-the-art network infrastructure. This year, we present the medal with great gratitude for 25 terrific years of service to Mr. David Cummings, class of 1975, our Technology Systems Administrator.
At this time, in recognition of their satisfactory completion of the course of studies prescribed by the school and having met the requirements for graduation, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute is proud to confer diplomas upon the following members of the class of 2022. Aaron Joseph Ackley. David Joseph Alessi. Eric Salvatore Aquilina. Robert Thomas Balsarac. Brandon Joseph Barone. Ryan Jacob Bevilacqua. Michael Andrew Blake. Evan William Blattner. Dylan Robert Blazinski. Maximilian Felix Blum. Tyler Matthew Broats. Adam Nathaniel Brown. Edward Allen Brown. John Edward Brown. Michael Alexander Canavo. Andrew Robert Carpenter. Christopher Joseph Casarsa. Nathan Joseph Casarsa. Gabriello Frank Antonio Casilio. Robert Bennett Sahulik. Kyan Luca Chase. Kyle Andrew Schmiel. Alec James Clark. Myrie D. Clark. Anthony Joseph Corasanti. Matthew Gregory Kroll. Aiden J. Cusack. Antonio James DeLuizio. Nathaniel James D'Amato. Keenan Joseph Day. Keenan's diploma will be presented to him by his mother, Dr. Lisa Day, a member of the SJCI Board of Trustees. Noah Robert Denning. Anthony Conrad DePinto. Jack Timothy DiGiulio. Frank Richard DeLeo. Keegan Ryan Ficcarilli. Marco Vincent Felice. Lars Donald Finlayson. Evan Mitchell Folsom. Elijah David Gale. Elijah's diploma will be presented to him by his father, Mr. Joshua Gale, a member of the SJCI faculty. Mark Christopher Django. Alexander Joseph Glenn. Justin Lamar Glover. Peter Joseph Gottler, Jr. Joshua Grammett. Benjamin Anthony Grande. Tyler David Grau. Jackson Dennis Ginther. Aaron Lamar Hall. Matthew Jacob Halsdorfer. Samuel Charles Hanlon. Benjamin Michael Housley. Joseph John Salvatore Haynes. Patrick William Hennigan. Samuel Francis Herr. Magnus Christian Inderson. Solomon Jackson III. Andrew Joseph Jasinski. Crosby Jack Giuliano. Patrick Thomas Killian. Peter J. King. Amari Dante Knox. Joseph Nicholas Kuhn. Luis Horatio Lazara. Benjamin Roberts Leahy. Christian Albert LeBlanc. Elias T. Leswing. Nicholas Joseph Licata. Nolan Ja Lin. Pharrell Dante Livingston. Jason J. Loft. Nathan Bryce Long. William J. Lopes. Theodore Richard Lukowski. Logan Moyer McDonald. Tyler Charles McLeod. Patrick Anthony Majerski. Colin James Mankey. Colin Vincent Marcolini. Brennan Aaron McElroy. Cameron Matthew McIntyre.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey. Brendan Thomas McHenry. Ryan Armstrong McMahon. Cole Anthony Meller. John Charles Mihalski. John Joseph Milcarrick. Jason Christopher McInnes. Anthony Paul Milioto. You did it. Duncan James Miller. Nicholas John Manetti. Nicholas's diploma will be presented to him by his uncle, Father Jim Crolio, our chaplain at St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute. Michael V. Muffaletto. Max Naples. Travis James Nixon. Michael Aloysius Noonan. Helen P. O'Connor. Ryan Michael O'Leary. Ian Michael O'Rourke. Paul Jack Acapinti. Gabriel Carmen Parisi. Devin Lamar Perry. Dean Michael Phillips. William Joseph Pleva. Alex Jeffrey Palasoto. Liam Brendan Post. Hunter James Potts. Nicholas Anthony Proenza. Nicholas Michael Pusatier. Luca Mark Bassiano Race. William Edward Rayhill. Aaron Christopher Reeb. Gla Ray. Key Ray. Plu Ray. Zachary Paul Reinhardt. Colin David Ritchie. Dacian L. Riley. Nathan Robert Reve. Alexander Matthew Roberts. Nathan I. Santana. Grayson Moeller Schifferly. James Patrick Shaw. James's diploma will be presented to him by his uncle, Mr. John Berger, a former chair of the SJCI Board of Trustees. You're welcome. Matthew James Sinatra. Harrison Edwin Sly. Owen Michael Smith. Jared Joseph Sikolik. Max Lewis Stanger. Jack Dennis Stark. Jack's diploma will be presented to him by his parents, Amy and Jim Stark, members of the SJCI Board of Trustees. Joseph Stumpo. Tyler Stanley Sweda. Eric William Swinsicki. John Andrew Simzak. Mark Angelo Tasca, Jr. Zachary Ryan Terry. Benjamin Richard Tock. Elliot Christopher Torres. Christian Peter Trotter. Quinn Joseph Tubridy. John M. Van Vessem. Brian Anthony Vanini. Demario Lamont Vass, Jr. Joseph Loretto Villardo. Joshua Howard Warrington. William Richard Wiedenbeck. Connor Charles Woodson. Stephen Raphael Zelazny. Nathan Thomas Zanger. Christopher J. Ziliax. Thomas Christopher Zarecki. To summarize the accomplishments of the class of 2022, the 140 students in the class of 2022 received over 700 acceptance letters from 173 colleges and universities and will matriculate into 62 different schools this fall. Collectively, the class was offered academic and athletic scholarship awards totaling $30,425,182. 60 seniors have received the Principal's Award for Academic Excellence, and 98 seniors have received the President's Award for Educational Excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, the St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute Class of 2022. I love you guys. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the valedictorian for the SJCI class of 2022, Harrison Sly.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know by now, my name's Harrison Sly, and I stand before you, the valedictorian of the St. Joe's class of 2022. Before I get started, I'd like to thank everyone who helped me get to where I am now, including my family and friends who provided me with the resources I needed to achieve. The path that led me to becoming valedictorian is a long one, and I hope I speak for many of you in saying that our time here at St. Joe's was worthwhile. High school is a very formative period in many young people's lives, and I've learned so many valuable life lessons from the people who make St. Joe's special. From my time here, I've learned what it means to be a friend, a teammate, and a hard worker. Before we all go into the next chapter of our lives and go our separate ways, I would like to spend some time reflecting on the stories and people who I have learned from most. Everyone here has their own unique high school experience, but today, as I share the experiences I know best, we can all recognize what St. Joe's has given us individually. One thing I would like to hone in on is how my friendships here in St. Joe's have taught me to be selfless and dependable. Patrick Killian, our class salutatorian who was up here earlier, has shown me over the past 4 years what it truly means to be a friend. When I first arrived at St. Joe's, like many of us, friendship extended to basically anyone who you did an activity with and talked to. But I have come to know what it means to truly be a dependable and mature friend through all of my friendships in high school, especially with Patrick. One formative moment in developing this more adult understanding of friendship came when Patrick offered to teach me how to ride a bike. You may ask yourself, shouldn't this be an example from when I went to school at St. Joe's? And to that I say it was. Knowing it was a useful skill to know how to ride a bike, Patrick spent 3 hours of his time after freshman year teaching me the skill. Here, Patrick's dependability and dedication set a lasting example for me, and hopefully you too can recognize a similar friend around you now. After sharing my story, I hope all of you can see the value and lasting impact of a dependable and selfless friend as you create new friendships in college. I would now like to take a step back and reflect on what I have learned about community at St. Joe's. Like many of you here today, I have learned a lot about what it means to be part of a team from my time with St. Joe's Athletics. As my 4 fellow senior swimmers know, my time on the St. Joe's swim team was not always a happy one. When it comes to athletic performance, I had many disappointing moments, but every year I'd still be incredibly excited to come back. Why? Well, it was because of my teammates. Whether they know my appreciation or not, the swim team has always been there for me. And the fun times we had, both in and outside the pool, are some of my favorite memories. One of these great moments is when part of the team met at junior Mark Whitman's mom's basement to watch the Bills-Chiefs playoff game last season. I personally have never closely followed professional sports, but regardless of that fact, I thoroughly enjoyed my time spent with my team. During that night firsthand, I was able to see how much more being a part of a team is than performance. I saw how our team relationship brought a wide group of unique personalities together. While some of us were interested in the instruments in the room, others the dartboard, and others the actual game, we were all able to thoroughly enjoy each other's company, and as a result, we're able to grow closer as a team. Regardless of what I or any of you think of our successes or lack thereof in athletics here at St. Joe's, you hopefully can walk away from these past 4 years with a clear vision of what it means to be a team and be there for others when they need you most in your future careers. Since taking these small lessons with you from St. Joe's will make a world of difference. While the impact these relationships we have forged over the last 4 years will have on our lives is clear, I believe that the impact of our academic journey and the lessons learned from it cannot be understated. All of us have had unique experiences and challenges going through St. Joe's education, but I am confident most of us have learned through at least one experience what it means to work hard and know what it is like to be inspired by a teacher or administrator. This school has demanded a lot from us, and in the short term, the work we have done has been tiring. But I am confident that our ability to push through this struggle will prepare us for the hardships of life. As I stand here before you today, my own academic future is vague and uncertain. But regardless of what the future holds for me, I will always look back to my high school years as the start of my journey to success. When I came to St. Joe's a little under 4 years ago, I never expected to be up here on this stage. When I graduated from a class of 60 kids at St. Amelia's, I was always a kid who had done well, but I was never seen as particularly smart. However, when I started freshman year, I had one goal in mind, and that was to live up to my potential and seize the moment academically. With that dedication and willingness to act, I was able to be where I am today by recognizing the need to put in extra effort when things were tough, such as when I would stay after school with Mrs. Kazmarek to master proofs in geometry freshman year. For you all, I hope this brief reflection into my academic journey reveals to you that putting in a little extra effort can go a long way. While you and I may forget to do how to do a geometric proof in the future, I know that all of you have learned through a peer or teacher the work it takes to overcome challenges and what it means to go the extra mile. I hope that we can all appreciate the excellent examples this school has provided us and take them with us into the next chapter of our lives. I'd like to end this speech by taking a moment to congratulate all of the work you have done to be at graduation today. This truly is an achievement to be proud of. The work is not over, however, as we move forward into our college and other future endeavors. But as long as you recognize the lessons learned at this school, I am sure you will succeed. As a friendly reminder, please do not forget to thank the people who provided you this opportunity. May it be your family paying tuition, coaches pushing you to work harder, or the teachers that inspired you. Thank you for listening, and I wish nothing but the best for you all.
Good job, Barry.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer. Congratulations. I invite you to please stand as we welcome forward Travis Nixon, the president of our student body. Travis is going to close our evening together in prayer.
Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. Lord, in the end of Luke's gospel, we hear how you journeyed with 2 disciples on the road. Yet they were unaware of your presence until the end of the day when you opened their eyes. Over the past 4 years, we have traveled together on our own road through St. Joe's. Here at the end of our journey and this chapter, open our eyes to see and remember your presence. By remembering your presence, we filled our cups. You've given us the grace to become compassionate men. Now, more than ever, the time comes to live Jesus in our hearts. We now empty our cups for others as we disperse into the world. Perhaps the most important part of this statement comes last, the instruction to, of course, do this forever. Today, we are truly grateful for all the experiences, memories, and relationships we have received during our time here at St. Joe's. Thank you in particular for the blessings of our classmates, our teachers, coaches, members of the faculty and staff, and for, of course, our family and friends who have supported us along our journey. It's in these faces that you have shown us your love. As we leave today, help us to share your love with others and through the rest of our lives. St. John Baptist de La Salle, live Jesus in our hearts. Are you boys ready? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Can we go on the roof? Great job.
their music stands upside down and get them on the cart. That would be awesome.